Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Today my subject is electoral bonds. And I would like to take you through a story that NDTV broke yesterday, wherein they say that in year 2019-20, 76% of the total amount collected via electoral bonds went to Bharatiya Janata Party. So that's my story today. Now, what we will discuss today is as to so what if Bharatiya Janata Party got 76% of total amount that was collected in 2019-20. Why? How can we complain? Finally, the people who gave them the money, na? So how are we complaining about it? Let us discuss the dangers of such kind of amounts going to one single party in a democracy like ours. Let's get right into the show. Okay, in the year 2019-20, the total amount of electoral bonds worth 3,355 crores were collected. Out of the 3,355 crores, 2,555 crores went to Bharatiya Janata Party, which technically means 76% of the total money went to Bharatiya Janata Party. Okay. Now, before I get into why, how, what is right, what is wrong and all, let me take you through what is electoral bonds. The Bharatiya Janata Party, they said when they came into power, they decided that to kill corruption and to increase transparency, they will create something called as electoral bonds. Now, what were electoral bonds? Electoral bonds were basically banknotes, similar to banknotes, available with State Bank of India, some branches of State Bank of India, wherein any Indian citizen or Indian corporate could go and buy these electoral bonds in the denomination of 1,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 1 crore rupees, buy these electoral bonds and go and give it to any political party he, she or the corporate wishes. This is electoral bonds. Now, when he buys the electoral bonds, the particular individual can get tax deduction since he is giving this money as donation. Number one. Number two, his identity will be kept secret. The political party does not have to divulge the identity of the person who gave him money, who gave the political party money. Now, according to Bharatiya Janata Party, the Bharatiya Janata Party said that, listen, you know what, this will kill all corruption. It will bring about transparency. What? The people giving money and their names not being divulged. But it will bring transparency because end of the day money is received through banks. No. So everything is in the balance sheet. So that will bring transparency. But the Congress said at that point in time, no, this is not fair because you are not even divulging the name of the person who is donating it to you. How do we know who is donating it to you? So they said it will build corruption. It will increase corruption. So this was the debate at that point in time. Chalo, theek hai. Whether it increases corruption or not, we will discuss later on. Let us get further. So I explained to you what is electoral bonds. So you could go to State Bank and buy your electoral bonds and give it to whichever party you want. Now, in India, there is something called as MRPT Act. It is called Monopoly Restrictive Trade Practice Act of 1969. The Monopoly Restrictive Trade Practice Act 1969 was enacted to ensure that the operation of economic system does not result in the concentration of economic power in the hands of a few. Okay? This is what MRTP Act of 1969 says. Now, let us understand. If 76% of the total money collected of 3,355 crores, which is 2,555 crores, goes into one particular political party's hand, is it not economic power in the hands of one, forget few? Total economic power is in the hands of one, no? So, how, I do not understand, how does it not violate the MRTP Act? Because end of the day, the other political parties, like in the market, which I told you a few days back, like in a market, isn't the other political parties also competing? They are also competing for your votes, no? So is Bharatiya Janata Party. Finally, all of them want their vote, want your votes. And this money, 2,555 crores and 3,555 crores and all this money is used to ensure that they can canvass and they can get your votes. Isn't it? So the fact is that there are competitions. If one person gets the economic power, then there is MRPT. It is a Monopoly Restrictive Trade Practice Act. So that's my point number one. Okay, this is what I am asking. Now let us see what Mr. Piyush Goyal, the senior minister of the Bharatiya Janata Party says. The senior minister of Bharatiya Janata Party says that companies like Amazon, companies like Walmart, because they've got a lot of money, they crush their competition. They finish off mom and pop shop. That is what he said. Now, take that same argument and juxtapose it here. Same argument, let us juxtapose here. If one party gets 2,555 crores and the other party, now I'll tell you what other parties got, which is very interesting. Congress got 318 crores out of the 3,355 crores. Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress got 100.46 crores. Sharad Pawar's Nationalist Congress Party got 29.25 crores. Shiv Sena got 41 crores. DMK got 45 crores. Rashtriya Janata Dal got 2.5 crores. Aam Aadmi Party got 18 crores. Arey, where is 2,555 crores and 18 crores? And Aam Aadmi Party is competing with Bharatiya Janata Party. How can they compete with Bharatiya Janata Party with 18 crores versus 2,555 crores? I mean, there's the same thing what Piyush Goyal said, no, that, how can one company have so much money, so much money power? They will crush the chota players. That is exactly same here too. So, how is that fair? And how is this being allowed? And why doesn't even a political party now come under the ambit of MRTP? Because end of the day, like I told you before, politics is as good as marketing. Marketing a product, a brand tries to sell itself to you. Here, a political party is trying to sell itself to you. So why doesn't it come in the ambit of MRTP Act of 1969? That's my question. Now, the last point I want to make. You see, what happens? What happens if one party gets all this money and the other parties have no money? End of the day, you have to compete, no? You have to compete. A Congress has to compete with Bharatiya Janata Party. A Trinamool tomorrow has to compete with Bharatiya Janata Party. How do these parties get money? These parties, what they try and do is make maximum amount of money from the states that they are ruling. Because वहीं तो लोग उनको पूछेंगे, बाहर तो पैसे दे नहीं रहे. Outside, they are not getting the money. So they will try to make the maximum amount of money in the states that they are ruling. So what does that give birth to? Doesn't that give birth to corruption? Doesn't that give birth to huge amount of corruption, because they have to collect the money from one state to ensure that they fight national elections. So this entire idea about electoral bond finishing off the corruption, does it finish off the corruption and get transparency, or does it give birth to more corruption? That is the question I am asking tonight. My humble submission is that there has to be some amount of cap on the money that is received by a political party through electoral bonds. If at all, electoral bonds have to be continued. For the simple reason that it is obvious, no, that the political party that is running the government will get the maximum amount of money. Because normally people would want to gratify the political party that is running the government. So they are going to get the maximum amount of money. I mean, that to me, I don't know. To me, I think it's very natural. And this is going to continue. I don't know. Maybe if tomorrow some other party comes in power, they will get the maximum amount of money. Maybe. But is that fair? Is this process fair? Is this entire idea fair? Because if it is not fair when it comes to Amazon and Walmart, It is not fair when it comes to Bharatiya Janata Party too, isn't it? What is good for the geese should be good for the gander. So a short story for you before I end my editorial. The Supreme Court, Justice Rohinton Nariman and Justice B.R. Gavai, they fined nine parties, including Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress, for these parties not divulging the criminal records of candidates, candidates that they were nominated to stand for various elections. So 9 parties were fined, and very interestingly, Congress and Bharatiya Janata Party and 5 other parties were fined 1 lakh rupees, and CPIM and NCP was fined 5 lakh rupees. The court had instructed these parties to make clear all the criminal records of the candidates within 48 hours of these candidates being nominated, and the parties didn't do it. So the judges were pretty upset, and they said that, you see, political parties refuse to wake up from their deep slumber. The judges said that, they said, yaar baba, sote raya tum log, you better pay this money. So that was it, and I hope, I don't know whether it would, but I hope this could be a wake-up call for our political parties. If not because of 1 lakh or 5 lakh, but out of embarrassment at least, next time they should be more careful about, first of all, having candidates with criminal records, and if they have one, at least divulging it to the public at large about their criminal records. Before I end, as usual, I would say, please subscribe to our channel. We need your subscription to pay our bills. So please do subscribe to our channel. Go to www.hwnews.in. Subscribe. Until I see you next time. Namaskar.